Senator Abiru Mukai Adetukumbo is a member. Senator Adebomire Adeniyi Ayodele, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is a member. Senator Jibrin Isa Ochocho is a member. Distinguished Senator Banigo Ipalibo Harry is a member. Distinguished Senator Nweboyi is a member. That makes it 12, so that we were together with our colleagues in the House of Representatives. The conference committee, when you meet, you know that this is a matter of urgency. I believe that if you're able to conclude within the next few days or 1 week, the president should be able to sign this amended electoral bill into an act of parliament within this month of February. So I wish you a worthy deliberation with your colleagues. It's very simple.
So, Akpabiole and his gang, they have succeeded in using one stone to kill two birds. To say, you want it to be part of Jilon Abi, to be stated here that in places where they can't have maybe network issues and the rest of that, okay, so they can then resort to manual Abi. So the other states, like they said, all these northern states, okay, that they claimed kind of like network, denied. I don't know what they described it as. One of them spoke about it earlier, right? Said this deprived. That's the word. The states that are network deprived, so they would not even think about the e-transmission and all that, according to the Akpabiole's theory. But nevertheless, you want it inside. Okay, fine. What about the part that says INEC can decide which of them they want to use? Have you expunged that? No, they haven't. Or Ken Okonkwo, after that entire, escapade and all that, he's got this to say. It is a scam. There is no new electoral act that will make 2027 election different. In fact, it is called scientific rigging. Pay attention.
For a moment, they are reacting to the emotions of Nigeria and listening to the Nigerian people. They came and they adopted the voting proceeding today, but that's how all it ended. That clause 63 has been adopted and voted for in that manner.
Well, what I saw today was treachery.
What do you mean?
It was deceit. It was 419, the way we know it in Nigeria, obtaining by false pretense. First of all, Senator Munguno told Nigerians that they had to summon this session in order to listen to the yearnings of Nigerians, in order to take their will into consideration. What did they end up doing? They took their own will into consideration through the back door. What have we been saying? What we have been saying is that we want unconditional electronic transmission of polling unit results to preserve the integrity of our results. Let me make it clear. We do not have anything like electronic collation of results. What we have is electronic preservation, storage, and transmission of the manually generated polling unit results in order to preserve the integrity of the result. In other words, Nigerians have discovered that our problem is that in between polling unit and the collation center, a lot of abracadabra take place that mutilates, that inflates, that fraudulently manipulates the polling unit results in order to give you not what the people voted, but what the counters of the elections would want. What did the senators do today? What they did was that they said, oh, we can now electronically transmit with a proviso that when it is not possible to transmit, you will use the manual. That is the discussion we have been fighting for.
Is it not safer?
No, it is dangerous.
Can you trust technology 100%?
When it comes to this issue, I trust it 100%. Why am I saying so? INEC was the one who invented IRF portal. They have never complained for one day since they started using it, almost 2020, that technology failed them in uploading the result. Not one day. But let me tell you the funny thing. BVAS is the technological device that INEC chose to accredit voters. And BVAS, by section 47, subsection 1 to 3, they said you must accredit with BVAS. And when BVAS is not working, what do? They didn't say you should rely on the manual register of voters. They said you should cancel the election and reschedule it. And this is BVAS working throughout the day. Yet the consequence, if it is not working, is that you cancel the election. The same BVAS is what they said they are going to use to upload the scanned copy of the Form EC8A on the IRF portal. One transaction. And then you are telling us that if that one transaction does not go, they should go back to the manual. No. That is legitimatizing the technical glitch which Yakubu Mohammed brought. Because what they are simply saying is that the proviso reads, when there is technical glitch, in quotes, by INEC, because they are the ones who will tell you they don't have network, then use the manual. That was exactly what happened in 2023. Amazon Website Services said there was no glitch. Nothing happened to their station. INEC said that there was glitch. And when you want to go to court, they will tell you, he that asserts should prove, even when you don't have the document. Let me tell you what the Supreme Court said about proviso. In the case of NDIC versus Okem Enterprises Limited, 2004, 10 Nigeria Weekly Law Report, part 880 at page 107. The Supreme Court said the purpose of proviso in a statutory enactment is to qualify or cut down the main clause in the statute preceding it. Remember what happened in the case of Ebegunde, Ebegunde and the Ondo State House of Assembly. The Supreme Court said that proviso means that, yes, if you defect from one party to the other, you lose your seat, provided that there is no division in the party. That is what the proviso does. The proviso destroys the main clause to the limit of whatever they say. So when they say that the proviso is that you cannot use manual, it has destroyed completely the electronically transmitted.
Let me break it down
that we have been fighting for.
He's a lawyer, and I believe everything he said. Or maybe I should explain it to you in the layman, in the temple. Practically what Akpabiole and gang did was, like I explained earlier, that you wanted electronic transmission of result, Abi. Okay, fine, put it. But in place where there is no network or there's a network glitch, then we have to use manual. You have automatically defeated the purpose of saying you want to do electronic transmission. Because all it's going to take is just for INEC to tell you that there is no server, there is no network. And once they say there's no network, they start using manual. They've not broken any law. So whatever you have tried to avoid because of this manual stuff, right, then you would have to deal with. Because INEC will say they are not breaking any law. Proviso in law is, like he explained it, okay, is to cut down or qualify the section before it. For example, this black object shall be used to open all the doors. That's straightforward, Abi. All doors will open once you have this device. But then subsection 1 says, right? However, if the type of battery inside this device is of so, then it may not open all the doors. So that simply means that this device, the section that says it opens all doors, is not sacrosanct. It is not final. So therefore, the section, the subsection next to it, as either would then like water it down or even qualify it to say, oh, hang on, if you put this so type of battery, it will open all doors. So as the subsections continue to grow, it watered down the first one, the first line that said, this device opens all doors. That's what Akpabiole and the gang have done. You want electronic transmission of result? Okay, yeah, put it in the law. But the next section, the subsection after it says, INEC can decide to use manual if there is no network. So what does that mean? It gives INEC the power to say, because there is no network, they are going to use manual. So they will use electronic here, use manual there, but you will never have an opportunity of having all of the results together at the same time to get an actual winner ever. Do you see that? The purpose is defeated. And it is not because there is no network in all these places, even rural areas in Nigeria. They have what they call the POS. It's almost everywhere.
And being cascaded down again by Mr. Peter Aka and the rest of us who follow suit immediately. During the 2023 general election, we realized that there's a lacuna in the Electoral Act. Of course, some of the political parties that were together in the Inter-Party Advisory Council actually have been championing the issue of electoral reform. Now, let me make a clarification. There is a kind of misinformation that Section 222 of the Electoral Act that is being retained by the National Assembly or was being precipitated on the fact that some areas do not have network. And that there's this particular word that they're trying to manipulate, transfer and transmit. To transfer means that at any time you could decide to transfer, just like you transferring money. But remember also, at the time in which you are transferring money, the bank ensures that they transmit immediately. You know, transmission means at the time in which you transfer, it reached that particular point. So there are two words, but they are being manipulated in a way to mean one thing. So the National Assembly idea of trying to say, we've already approved the issue of transfer and all. The question is that if you and I who live in the village want to do transfer of money, it goes immediately. Why is it difficult for you to transfer or transit election results? So that's to tell you there's a question mark in it.
You don't think that perhaps looking at it from the other side, that this is just an attempt to ensure that they don't toy or gamble with the electoral process and they're trying to be realistic as much as possible?
There's not anything about realistic here. It shows our deficiency. For any country like, for example, India, who has more population, possibly more bigger landmark, and the number of voters and all, can transmit results at real time, immediately, for over millions of voters.
Billions.
Billions.
India is in the billions.
Billions, yes, they can transfer results at that particular. What happened to us? In fact, if you are real and you are serious as a nation, it should be a shame on ourselves and the leaders in the National Assembly. But at this point, let me also appreciate some of the senators, using Senator Abaribe as a point of contact, who were able to come out and say, this is exactly what took place. This is just to encourage those who are developing cold feet in challenging the status quo. Right. That yes, because some of them have come out and say, this is exactly, because many of us wouldn't have known that there was actually an attempt to manipulate the system where it was not correct. So the truth about it is that we should have even find out and insist that those areas that it's assumed not to have any network, the National Assembly should give a marching order to show that they are progressive. Go and make sure there is power in that particular area, and there's also, they can easily transfer those particular results at real time. This is a marching order. That's to show you that you are interested in giving credible election. Look, ladies and gentlemen, none of us is doing this because we have a personal interest. No, we just want a credible election that will bring in credible leaders. We, and His Excellency, Mr. Peter.
That sounds good. If the government is serious, all it takes is their own supposed commitment not finding reasons why an archaic idea will be sustained in 2026. Even Atiku, that has been contesting to be president of Nigeria for nearly 30 years, supports the transmission.
Leader.
Yes, you know, of the elections. But what we got is a mixture of electronic and manual transmission, which is going to cause more confusion or chaos than if we have a single tier, you know, electoral transmission system, which is real-time electronic. That would be our preference. And I think there is need for all the opposition political parties to come together to pursue this issue. I mean, we shouldn't allow it to rest where they wanted it to rest today. Absolutely not. I don't support that.
Sir, will you be contesting for the 2027 election, and why are you here in Mina today?
Is it the first time that you have seen me here? Certainly not. I have always come here to pay my respects. The issue of contesting 2027 election does not even arise. I am a member of ADC, and we are busy trying to make sure that our structures are firmly rooted, you know, from the world level, local government level, state level, up to the national level. And we are busy mobilizing people and also registering at the same time.
What's your opinion about the zoning conversation? Will ADC be zoning to any particular?
We have no zoning provision in the ADC's constitution. In fact, the only party that has zoning in its constitution is PDP.
Yeah. So Atiku was in Niger State earlier, I think, to see Abdusalami and Babangida. Well, enough of that. Let's take a bit of a detour. Still politics, okay? But this time it is not the dancing gang with Werewike. So this is Werewike Fubara. So earlier today, Fubara was seen inspecting some ongoing projects in his state. And then he referred to one of them as an ongoing project that was started by Werewike. Then a few minutes later, we saw Werewike at the airport talking about how Fubara himself and the House of Assembly members met with the Kolu over the weekend. And the House of Assembly knows what to do. Kind of conflicting in a way, right? But people are saying somehow, Werewike has received his last warning. He always received last warning. But Fubara first, the Fubara.
From your own observation, not just mine alone, they've achieved a lot. And in the course of our discussion, they are still assuring us that by October this year, they will deliver the project. So, in my assessment, what they need is the fund, and from my own end is the push. I strongly believe that this promise that we made to our people will deliver it by October, God willing. For me, this project is very important, considering the person who conceived it, my Oga, Honorable Minister. He had a very big vision. He believed that if I achieve this project at record time, Rivers people will be happy with me. So I also, notwithstanding whatever is happening, it is also my wish and my struggle to ensure that that wish comes to be. From your own.
Yeah, giving a shout out to his boss, Werewike, and the boss.
Very kind to the people of the state. If there seems to be a problem between the legislature and the governor, and as a father, he didn't have to intervene. I remember this is the second time Mr. President intervened. I believe, by the grace of God, this will be the last time I believe that The assembly have told them to do this, to get this appellation, which I know they will not hesitate. And I also believe that